Hi, this is John Moffat Lucente, and I'll be talking about product and quotient rule. So first, I'll be talking about product rule. So product rule is basically used when multiplying two terms together. Suppose we'll have a function of f of x is equals to g of x times h of x. So the derivative formula of this one is f prime of x is equals to g prime of x times h of x plus g of x times h prime of x. So in order for us to learn more about this one, we've got to have an example. So the given sample is this one. The f of x is equals to quantity 2x minus 5 times quantity 5x plus 2. So the 2x minus 5 here is our g of x, and then the 5x plus 2 here is our h of x. So since we are done getting the values of this one, we will proceed to this formula. So before we'll solve this one, to make it easier, we should also get the value of g prime and the h prime. So the value of g prime here is equals to 2. So where did I get this 2 here? So I get it here. 2x minus 5. What I did is I put an imaginary 1 as the exponent of x, and then the 1 I multiplied it to 2. So 1 times 2 is equals to 2. And since the 5 has a quantity of 0, so g prime is equals to 2. And then next is the h prime, which is a value of 5. So where did I get this 5 here? So I get it here. 5x plus 2. So I also did put an imaginary 1 here and then multiplied it by 5. So 1 times 5 is equals to 5. And since 2 has a quantity of 0, so the h prime is just equal to 5. So since we are already done getting the values of g prime, the h of x, the g of x, and then the h prime, so we'll proceed now in solving using this formula. So g prime is equals to 2, so just substitute, and then h of x is equals to 5x plus 2 plus the value of g of x is equals to 2x minus 5, and then substitute the value of h prime, which is 5. After this, I just use I just distributed this one. 2 times 5x is equals to 10x. 2 times 2 is equals to 4. And then 2x times 5 is equals to 10x. And then negative 5 times 5 is equals to negative 25. And then after this one, combine like terms. 10x plus 10x is equals to 20x, and then negative 25 plus 4 is equals to negative 21. So our final answer is 20x minus 21. So since we are done in the product rule, we'll proceed to the quotient rule. So quotient rule is basically a formula that lets you calculate the derivative of quotients between functions. So suppose we'll have a function of f of x is equals to g of x over h of x. So the derivative form of this one is f prime of x is equals to g prime of x times h of x minus g of x times h prime of x over h of x squared. So in order for us to learn more about this, we've got to have an example. So our example here is this one. F of x is equals to x squared plus 3 over 4x minus 7. So the x squared plus 3 here is our g of x, and then our 4x minus 7 here is our h of x. So since we are done in getting the value of this one, we proceed to the derivative formula. So before that, what we did in product rule, we'll also be going to do in the quotient rule. So for us to be for it will be more simple, we'll get the value of g prime and the h prime. So the g prime has a value of 2. So where did I get this 2 here? So I get it in x squared plus 3. So since it has a exponent of 2, I divided it into 1. So since we all know that if this is just x, there is a 1 here. So 2 times 1 is equals to 2. And then since 3 has a quantity of 0, so the g prime here is just equal to 2. And then the h prime is equals to 4. So where did I get this? So this is where I get it, in the 4x minus 7. So how did I came up to 4? So I just added an imaginary 1 as the exponent of x and then multiplied it by 4. So the answer is 1 times 4 is equals to 4, times since 7 has a quantity of 0, so the value of h prime is just equal to 4. So since we've already done getting the values of the g of x, the h of x, the g prime, and the h prime, we'll now proceed on solving this derivative form. So we'll just substitute the value of g prime, which is 2, and then h of x, which is 4x minus 7, minus g of x, which is x squared minus 3, plus 3 rather, and then the h prime, which is equals to 4, over h of x, which is 4x minus 7 squared. And then distribute 2 times 4x is equals to 8x. 7 times negative 2 is equals to negative 14. And then 4 times negative x squared is equals to 4x squared. Then 4 times 3 is equals to 12 over quantity of 4x minus 7 squared. So I just combine like terms, 4x squared, and then 8x, and then negative 14 plus 12 is equals to negative 2 over quantity of 4x minus 7 squared. So this is now our final answer. So thank you for watching my video, and God bless everyone.